Uh, as you can read in the title, today we're gonna build a PC, a complete PC from scratch. This kind of stream is not something I do usually, or I haven't done this kind of stream any time before. So it's gonna be interesting on how I'll be able to pull this off. But I have got some things in my mind, and I'm probably gonna do it that way. But it will really be, exciting to see how, you know, things are gonna be like. So yeah, let's see. Mm, you guys have to give me a minute though before we can start. Okay, things do seem all right. Yeah, the stream's running smooth. Yeah, hello console Rajvi. Thank you for coming in so quickly. That is amazing. Oh, stream's running really good. I didn't knew restream was this good. Dang. I'm liking restream right now. Okay, hopefully my PC can handle all this workload. So I think I figured out everything. Start already. Yeah. I'll start. There's a lot of pressure coming on straight down the line. Anyways, let's start. Okay, hello everyone. This is me, Chirag Tamhane. Today I'll be building a new PC, and I'll first discuss the specs of this PC with you guys, before we start. So let's do that. Okay. First is the processor. I know some people like to put the processor in the end just to build some kind of suspense to it, but I'd rather get into the nitty-gritty right now and then move on to the other components of this build. So first is the Ryzen processor, this AMD Ryzen 3 Pro 4350G, which is an amazing processor, and it's similar to the 5th gen processors like the 5000 series processors, but it is an APU, and yeah, it's amazing for the price, and the value it provides is pretty good. Like it has 4 number of CPU cores, and it has 8 threads. The base clock is 3.8 gigahertz, and it goes up to 4 gigahertz. The amazing thing about it is I mean, it is created from the TSMC 7 nanometer FinFET, so it is very good. It is very power efficient. Also, the thing about this is it has an integrated GPU. Now, this GPU isn't the one you find in, very basic Intel processors. It's even better, I'd say, than the, graphics cards from like, I don't know, but like from 2010 or something like that. Like it's better than having a GT 210 or GT 610, or just having a base graphics card in for your system just for running or just for using a display. It's much better than that to use a processor with an APU. If you're gonna plan, like if you're planning to get a processor and a GPU itself together, then sure. Then something else like what you're saying, like any other processor with a graphics card would make sense. But for someone who's going to build on a budget, this is the way to go. I wouldn't recommend getting a new GT 610 or 210 just for the purpose of displaying. That doesn't make any sense. So anyways, this is the Ryzen 3 Pro 4350G. It's a good processor. I'd recommend you to check out this. This is the MSI A520MA Pro motherboard. This motherboard, I really like it. It is very budget oriented motherboard, but it still has some pro features in it. The onboard HDMI supports up to 4K UHD resolution, and there's the DDR4 boost. The PCBs are thickened, and I think this is gonna be a durable motherboard. And I'm curious to find out how this is going to be like. User-friendly design. Yeah, there's a lot of connectivity as well. Now, again, moving forward, you'd like to have a host of connectivity features in your motherboard. If that is not the case, then you'd feel a little, you'll have to improve and upgrade a lot over the line. So it's better to have something like this before. As it can be seen, it supports the NVIDIA Ryzen 4000G series of processors. Now, guys, if you are looking to buy a processor and a motherboard, like if you are going to build a PC, just make sure that the processor and the motherboard matches. Other compatibility is usually not an issue because these other devices like the storage and the case. Case is also something I'd say you'd have to take a look, but other things like RAM, they usually fit into your system. This is the major thing that you have to see. Uh, just go look up a processor that you want with all the feature set that you want with the budget that you are planning of. Once you have done that, you'll have to see what kind of motherboard supports that processor. A socket is AM4. That you'll know from just the processor's website. And if you go into specifications, I'm sure you'll get to know that, yeah, package AM4. So this processor is AM4 packaged, and so the socket you'll need is an AM4 socket. AM4 socket again have like, there are 3 series of motherboards that support AM4. That is like the A520 or AX20 series. Then there's the BX50 series, and then there is the X5 or I'll say, yeah, XX70 series. Why I'm saying the second letter is X is because that is only dependent on the generational upgrades, but the rest is, yeah, the same. So these are the 3 line of series motherboards that what I'll say, like the budget one is A1, the B1 is a little better, and what I think I'd recommend most people to get, and X is like the extreme series, which you don't get a lot of performance benefits out of that. It's usually for extremists and people with heavy use cases. Anyways, moving forward, I'll have to be a little fast and still be able to get a lot of actual build time in this video, not just put some pictures in this stream. Anyways, so this is the XPG SX6000 Lite PCIe Gen 3 into 4 M.2 2280 solid state drive. This is the SSD that we're going to using, an NVMe SSD. Due to budget constraints, we're going to use a 128 GB SSD. However, if you want to push it a little bit, 256 is what I'd recommend as well. But again, this is the key to the fast speeds that we're going to get in this PC. The processor is amazing, but the storage, it helps you push things so faster, so much more than a hard drive that we were used to being like for so many years. So it has NVMe 1.3 support. Just quick, let me check the chat. Oh, Valorant. Yeah, I did change that. Yeah. Oh, you're here too, Fire, on YouTube. Thanks. Okay. Now, 3D NAND flash. So it has got the good stuff. I'd say 1800 and 1200 MB per second is not really bad in a budget-oriented NVMe SSD drive. You could do a lot worse. I have seen that. I have seen NVMe SSDs that are like just 600 Mbps or something like, I don't know. I think 600, 800 is where I've seen some other budget-oriented SSDs. And let me tell you, if you get like the other kind of SSDs, the SATA one, even that is around 550 Mbps. So why would you buy an NVMe for the just sake of this form factor? I don't know, doesn't make sense to me. But anyways, moving on, this is the anti-sports case. This is something I'd say is a little, I'm not sure. It doesn't improve the performance, but this makes your PC looks good for all the coming years, like down the years. You could get away with a case of like 1,000 rupees or 1,500. But if you spend a little more, again, this is the MRP that I'm seeing here at sales at other places. You could get like this at a little lower price. So I'd recommend getting it from places like those or wherever the price is less. I mean, obviously, as a consumer would. So this case, but looks amazing. And if you're building a new PC, getting a good case means you'll have best airflow. Like it basically means that you'll have good airflow over the down the line, and it'll help keep your components live a little longer. Also, there is room for upgradability. The case looks good, so it is something you could put up on for display. And I don't know, that I think that sums up the reason of why you'd get this instead of something like a 1,000 rupees case, which is like really sharp on the edges, and you can definitely tell the quality of it just by looking at it a little, away. So that is what I'll say about them. Um, Second, then moving on, there is this power supply. Okay, the Silverstone power supply ST50F ES230. I don't know why they name these power supplies like this. The naming scheme in the tech world is a little bit weird. Only tech people will understand, and even they would have like confusions at times. It's not very clear for consumers, usual everyday consumers, non-techies, or I'd like to say, especially. Okay, this one has got high efficiency with 80 plus certification. All I'm looking for in a power supply these days is having an 80 plus certification that kind of, gives you kind of like a baseline of what you should be looking for in a power supply. And then moving on, there are other things like that. And it has got PCI 8 and 6-pin connector support, so I can technically add a graphics card at any time I want. And basically the entire system is ready for a graphics card, but sure, we don't need it right now, but there is this upgradability right now, so I don't have to upgrade to a new power supply if I am looking to upgrade my graphics card. That is kind of the main thing. However, yeah, sure, it isn't the the capacity of this power supply is only 500 watts. You could get like a medium graphics card for that. But if you want to push really hard, like get an RTX 3070 or 3080, then I think you'll be probably looking at 700 to 900 or 1000 watt power supplies. But again, this is a budget-oriented PC, and this suits perfectly well. Coming on to next, this is the CAMX D30 DDR4 memory module. This is a pretty good memory module, I'll say, and it looks very fancy, but again, I have not based this purchase only on the looks of it, but also about how its performance is. The one we have got is the 3000 megahertz DDR4 memory. 3000 to 3200 is what I'll call the sweet spot. 3600 is what I'll call you should probably get, but that is kind of expensive, and if you can get that, amazing. But pushing above 3600 is what I'll say is like, it doesn't net you real profits, it doesn't net you real value, but sure, you can go above it, but it doesn't really, as I said, it's no good use. It's like you can put your money to use somewhere else in case, like, as compared to that. Again, these RAM sticks get a lifetime warranty or at least 10 years warranty for other sticks. So I don't think so. RAM is something you'd want to skimp on. You can get away with like a good RAM for a lot of years. Moving on, this is something I'll not show the box currently. I have the thing in place, but obviously this is not something we're going to use in the build right now. We'll build it, and then when I'm going to turn the power on, then we can see it. Again, I don't know how I'm going to show it from power on perspective. I am not sure. Maybe we'll continue the stream a little bit later. I'll just update it to friends and family, like how the end go, like somehow in the stream. But we'll have to see that. Anyways, this is the monitor. This is an amazing monitor at just 9,000 rupees. You'll get a 22-inch monitor with AMD FreeSync, 5 milliseconds response time. This is frameless, FHD IPS panel. This is a full HD panel. So, if you just spend 3,000 less, like at 6 or 5,000, there are a lot of monitors that just have a 1366 and 768 pixel, like 768 pixel display. And there are some that are 900 pixel display, and there are some that are 720p display. Those are awful. We are in 2021. 1080p is the minimum that you should go, and you'll probably be of like imagine that this way: you're buying a PC, all you're gonna do is stare at the screen for the entirety of the PC that is. So don't you want to have a better screen, like not only with better resolution and better display, but also in terms of how the blue light filter on the screen is, and things like that can really improve your entire experience of using this new PC. So I'll recommend this monitor if somebody's looking for a budget. I'll say there are other things as well that can, you know, affect your decision. And there are other models that are pretty good as well. This also comes with a 75 Hz display. 60 to 75 Hz really make a difference. I know it doesn't sound much, but it does. And we'll have to see one to, really just, what you say, get a judge of it, like judge or basically get a note of it. Anyways, this is what we're gonna do. Also, there are six number of GPU cores in this one, and the L1 L2 cache, three caches. Yeah, the default TDP is 65 watt, which is very good. It is a very efficient CPU. Okay, this was my part of all the, what shall I say? This is all technical stuff. I'll show everything that is going on in terms of the hardware that I've selected. Now things are gonna get really interesting. I'm gonna move on to the actual development. And I've set up my camera. I actually have to set up it really quick right now. Just give me a second and I'll be right back. Till then, I think we'll have to add this then. Mm, I'll be back. Like, I just have to set the camera again like I used to from my phone. And then we'll be back with the building. And that is where things will going to be get interesting. Hello. Okay, Okay, I have transitioned this screen now. This is the screen that my phone is capturing. Let's see how that is going to be like. I hope it is very visible the way it should be. The stream does appear to be really good, and I hope it stays that way. Again, the one thing I'm not sure about is how the audio is going to sound. It is sounding pretty good because I'm very near to the system. I'll probably have to rearrange a little bit so that my audio comes as crispy as I want without other things affecting it. Just give me a second. Give me a second once again. Sorry. Okay. Yes. Hello everyone. So I think we can do it like this. Let's see. Okay, this is very new. This is something I haven't done any time before. Now I won't be able to check. Actually, wait. I want to check. I want to be able to check the chat. So, because I want to know if things are like my chat, like my text is visible in the way it should be. So I want to be able to read the chat at all times. And how do I do that? Yeah. Okay, I can see the chat now. Okay, I do see the chat right now. I hope people are still here. But anyways, I'll keep continuing my stream regardless, because that's what one should do. Okay, start with the motherboard. Is my audio really audible? I don't know. Can anybody confirm this? Or can I record it using my, I don't know, sure. Oh, you guys like my t-shirt? So this is the A520N Pro motherboard. Let's see how this motherboard is. Let's open this motherboard up. I really like anything technology. And building PCs is kind of amazing. You don't get to do that a lot. And it's kind of like what I love to do. Okay. So let's open this up, shall we? Handle a board with care, handle everything, every component of this with care. I don't want to be, again, as I'm saying is, I don't want to be me, so I'll also probably take some time, be careful with my component. Okay. Probably I'll have to speak a little louder so that, so that um, my mic can catch up. It's actually, I'm still using the PC mic, as I know. Okay, so this is how you stack, like how you build on a board. You keep the box on the bottom. You put this, I knew the name of it, but I think it is an anti-static bag, anti-static plastic bag, anti-static bag, and then you put the motherboard on top of it while you're building, and then you get into a case and put the stuff in there. I don't know how I'm going to do the case thing, man. The case thing requires something like a top-down camera, but this is like, so what am I expecting? But I'll try. I'll try how it's. Also, the audio is something I want to put, always have a check on. So I have to put this somewhere here. So, is my audio okay? I think my audio is pretty good. Okay, so RTX voice is really doing its job. It is pretty good. Okay, so this is the motherboard. The people who want to know more about it, let me tell you something about it that I probably know. This is where you put the processor. You know, this big place of emptiness where you can definitely know that this is where a lot of pins are going to go. This is where our processor will go. This is where our RAM will go. These two straight lines of empty again. No. But no, these are the RAM slots. This is the power for the CPU fan, right? This is the CPU power, and this is where you put your graphics card. But we are not gonna put one this time. These are heat sinks, some of the more modules and controllers present on the motherboard. This is where you connect all the USBs and your audio and other devices and other stuff. Connectivity, this is the SATA connections. This is the whole motherboard power. And these are the connectivity options that this motherboard provides. I want you to take a closer look at this. Again, CPU, RAM, GPU, and then this is the main motherboard power. Stuff like that. Okay. Let's move on to something interesting. The Ryzen processor. Now this Ryzen box doesn't come with the processor, but this is how you usually find a Ryzen processor. So if you're not going to buy this specific processor, this is the kind of box that you usually come in. Interestingly, the processor comes just in this small package, and this is the majority of the box that has been taken to by the fan, by the CPU fan. Okay, so let us start with the processor. There you go. This is the processor. Ryzen 4350G, Ryzen 3 Pro 40. You usually handle these delicate devices by their corners. You don't want to mess with the pins. I think there's something dust and I would want to be very delicate with these. I don't want to touch the pins more than I need to. I think there's something on it. Okay, I don't think there's a problem with this. Is like all the pins. These are gold pins, right? I'm not sure, but okay. Anyways, this is the Ryzen processor. I hope you can see it. It's gonna be all jumbled up because of the whole mirror principle thing. But anyways, now there's this small golden line here. Can you see it? Right? So that small golden line is what tells you how to actually place the processor in the motherboard. And there's also a small corner thingy which is invisible at all. I won't be able to show you, but if you look at the motherboard, you'll probably see it. And I think, yeah, it is very explanatory. Even here, you'll see the small triangle. I hope it is, it is something you can see on the screen. Yeah, you can see that is very clear, but you don't see it on any other corners. That is how you know where to align it. Interesting, isn't it? Ooh, so beautiful, shiny. Okay. We have to put it like this. First, obviously, we need to open this up. This thing. Let me show you better. There's this small hinge, kind of a lever on it there, pulley. You need to pull this off, and when you place it, then you need to tighten this whole thing up. I'm not sure if I'll be able to show you everything like this, but I'll try what I can. Okay, the Ryzen processor goes this way. Alright, this is something I need to take full care of. This is the most expensive component of the whole build, and I don't want to mess this thing up. Okay, does look clean. Yeah, that is the smallest particle I was, fidgeting with, but it's probably now gone. The processor is perfectly aligned with the triangle. It is very easy to just place it down. You don't need any force. You just need to place it down properly, and then you need to pull the lever slightly by pressure, and then there's this little stucky thing is in and you pull the lever and you keep it inside that stucky thingy. The stucky thingy. That's what we call it. But anyways, that's the whole processor thing done. It's gonna stay there now. It won't be a problem right now. Oh, thanks. Thanks. But why are you calling me Anish? Why is he calling me? Okay. I think Anish is doing what some people do, annoy you, annoy the dash out of you. But yeah, anyways, I'll continue despite the treachery of some people. Yeah. Anyways, I'm really liking the song. The background sounds are pretty good. And thanks, Console Raju, for saying that. That this seems more interesting. The way with consoles is that you get a pre-built package, and that is it, right? You open and everything is software based, like the entire excitement of it. It's games and everything else. But with the case of a PC, even the building seems amazing. Increase mic sensitivity, not enough. Oh, that is the case. Um, enough. Oh, that is the case. Um, there you go. This is the processor. Ryzen 4350. I hope it is, it is something you can see on the screen. Yeah, you can. Oh, that is the case. Um, I don't think so, Anish. Sorry, but I have looked into it. I feel it's enough. I can definitely so, use Anish. Sorry, but I have looked into it. I feel it's enough. Okay, I muted it. Sorry. Okay. Anyways, I'll start with. I'll resume. Anish, you can just tell me what's the matter here. Is it okay right now? Can you hear me from here? Why are you smiling about this? No, is it okay from here? Could you probably turn up your voice? No, wow, that is you. Yeah, that is me. What is going on? I don't understand. Anyways, I was happy with the way things were, so let's keep it the way things are. Console admin, do tell me if the audio is nice. It's as you would want to be. Okay, let's open up the cooler. This is the cooler. Okay, this is the thermal paste area. The thermal paste is pre-applied, so you need not do anything about that. I just need to place it correctly onto the. Okay, let me think about this. Should I be doing this? I think I should be doing this before anything else. So let's do this before. Now, how should I place it? I just have to put this here. I know that for sure. And I think I won't need these. Is how you usually place this. I'll have to probably keep this here for now. and grab a screwdriver. I wish I could have kept all that ready, but then it wouldn't be an amateur straight. And that's the kind of aesthetic I'm looking for. Okay, I'll have to unscrew this. Okay, this is tight. Actually, wait a second. I'll go grab some amazing, a better pair of screwdriver. Okay, I'm back. This is a better pair of screwdrivers. I feel needs to be able to do a job. Be able to do a job. Okay, and yep, this went in instantly, and yeah, this screw is out. So what I'm unscrewing is there are these two, you know, there are these two kind of I don't know what to call them, but there are these two pieces that are attached to the motherboard. I have to unscrew them before I can put this whole cooler over the processor. Now, processor is the component that continuously works and it uses a lot of power and produces a lot of heat. So to dissipate that, we need a processor and like a cooler to just get rid of all that heat. That is what we are going to do right now. Install a processor, cooler, a CPU fan. Yeah, interestingly, what we used to know as a CPU is like the entire box, right? But actually, the processor, central processing unit, I think that is what we call the central processing unit, right? The entire place where processing happens. But in reality, the processor is just a little chip, and everything else, kind of has its own purpose. But again, I think it's very debatable what you'd call it exactly. But it is very simple, like it is okay, I guess, and simple enough to tell the kids and everyone in general that this is the CPU. And in a way, it is, right? It isn't wrong in any way. The installation of the processor and the CPU cooler is the thing I'm a little worried about, and maybe then installing this at all in the case and managing all the wire. But other components are a little bit doable, very easy to do stuff. The power cable is here. This is the power for the CPU, and this would go on the motherboard itself. Let me take a look of where that goes. System fan, CPU fan. Okay, so this is where the CPU fan will go. So again, I have a place assigned on the motherboard for where the CPU fan will go. Okay, this is the place, and this is where the CPU fan will go. And this is the power cable for the CPU fan. This is where it will go. So I need to I can basically turn it this way or this way. So I need to know where I would do it in terms of how easy it would be to place this cable into the socket. So let me take a look. If I do it this way, then I'll have this. If I do it this way, then I'll have to do it this way, which doesn't seem very good. And the motherboard is facing this way, like the text on it. You can see it very below down there. So I'll say that this is probably the way to go. So you don't do much. Basically, you just put the entire thing into the place. I wish I had a top-down view for this. I really do. But this is what we'll have to do with current. To ensure these screws are in the correct places, then we keep rotating things. Give me a moment. I want to ensure I'm not doing anything wrong. To keep rotating these. Also, just to ensure, right? If anybody wants to check, this is the AMD booklet that comes with the processor itself, and like it tells you how to install a fan. Seriously, if you just read the manual, it is also not a big thing, you know. Like you can probably assemble a PC on your own. Tell Naraka to ask PCs with me. Why would he do that? Why would he do that? Literally, no one would. Yeah, as you can see, for AM4 CPUs, you first need to uninstall these things, which came pre-installed, and then you just need to push the screws down and fix it. So we are currently on the correct path. Fortunately, I have done this before once, so you might have an idea, but there's still a lot going into this, so I cannot always be very confident about this, you know. Let me take a look. This is currently here. Since you go here, to be able to do this. Again, this is the most complicated part for me personally. Like, I don't know why. Screwdrivers, like the screw don't go into the backplate and stuff very easily. Oh, okay. I see what the problem is. Okay, I see it. This is the whole backplate, and so before we do go any forward, I need to ensure this is the backplate. I got installed. Wow, I couldn't see it. I was thinking that there should be a backplate. Where is that? Anyways, so this is how it comes. Now there's little edges over it. See how they go and come. So this is what we need. Now that we have this in place, things are gonna get easy. Okay. Okay. Now I need to hold it like this to ensure the backplate is there. And just screw these things in. Again, always use the cross screw method. Like if you're screwing in the top left one, then go do the alternate one, the bottom right. Once you have those two in place, then go to the top right one and then go to the bottom left one. This is how you should do to ensure that the entire thermal space and even the processor is getting screwed in evenly. And this is how they are screwed in. See, I can just hold it with here, but I'm not putting too much pressure right now because these are not entirely screwed in. After that, you'll be able to hold the entire motherboard just using the system cam, because that is how much they would have got fixed. This haven't this is something I need to screw in. Wow. Okay, these screws are amazing. Why am I telling that? Because literally comes out and you can just switch the top at any point. Save space. You don't need different, handles for different tools. Screw thing. So, yeah, basically this comes with a replaceable screw. I think that is the term used in the market right now for describing all the kinds of screwdriver. These three are fixed. This one, I think we'll have to work more. Okay, it's getting tight now. And oh yeah, Kazam. I have worked with some of my Hogwarts magic and this feels secure enough. Am I getting any more comments? I mean, to be fair, would you be building a PC from scratch? Yes. Yes, indeed. You know how that works? Think about it this way. I have a PC from something like 10 years ago, and it's been 5 years. I want to upgrade my graphics card, my whole processor and motherboard because the entire architecture seems obsolete. Like maybe 5 or 7 years down the line, it does get obsolete. So what you'll be building is not something from scratch because the components would print all the new. For example, you don't need to switch your hard drive. Maybe just add an SSD. You don't want to switch your hard drive because there's a lot of data contained in it and it works okay. Maybe you want to add components, don't want to remove the previous ones already present there. You definitely have to switch the whole motherboard processor, but you'd like to keep the case. The case was pretty good, and even the power supply. So you're not building a new PC from scratch. You're still building a PC. That is how I phrase the whole argument about this. I hope that satisfies. You're just swapping parts. Yeah, I don't know. If you're building like if you're using a new motherboard, new processor, and the majority of the components are new, wouldn't it be building rather than swapping? Swapping is when you swap something from an entire system. Where in this case, the major three components, the processor, motherboard, even the RAM probably because the architecture is different. Just you're just changing the entire thing. So it would be very easy to say that if you build this PC and just swap in the older hard drive in, that is, that is more likely in this case. You're not swapping in the new things in the old one, but the old things in the new one. So this is what you're building, but you're not building it from scratch, not the entire thing. You already have a case there. But again, small things. And again, doesn't even really put the entire brain into what the title is going to be. I don't think that is like the important thing to think about in the stream. Anyways, okay, things are looking good. I'll probably plug this in at the last, so I can just keep it here so that the string isn't hanging and put it in the CPU power place. Also, welcome to the stream. I haven't seen you before and I do welcome you. This is not something I usually do. And in fact, I don't usually stream as well, but given the opportunity, I would like to take my chances. This is how you plug it in. There's a small power, it's written there, CPU underscore fan one. A lot of things like on the motherboard is labeled, so you can use, the benefit of that and just plug it in the right places. Okay. And there's also no problems about the orientation of how you plug it in. That is also very, if you'll have to do it once by yourself and you'll know that orientation wouldn't be a problem. Okay, so with this done, as I said, you can hold this whole motherboard using the just the cooler, and you can also play with the fan, but that is not recommended right now. These are the two things that you don't need to use, and you'll probably store it in the motherboard box. Even these screws that come with it. Let's keep it here. Okay, next thing. Let's put these boxes aside to not clutter our box space. That is also important that everyone should exercise. It's easy to forget once you start building and things come pouring in. So you need to constantly also keep things aside, things moving along. Okay, there are these two boxes, the RAM and the nvme SSD. I think I'm going to show you the SSD like in this manner, like to install it and show you actually how it looks like. So we'll do the SSD first, then we'll move on to the RAM. Why am I doing these components before I install it to the process, like the entire the chassis or the case? That's because it is easier to install these components like here before I move on to the entire thing with the case. Now there are some connections that I'll have to make once I install the power supply, and that is not feasible. You don't make connections after, before you install this into the case. But these are small components that go along with the motherboard, and there won't be any obstructions when I'll be installing it. That is why I'm going to be doing this first. Okay. Mm, so just these components are open because I have to check them before I actually be okay with it. Like because I don't want the 15 days like easy return policies to go away, and I want to check the components and make sure the components are good before I actually make this build. Otherwise, we'd be like stuck in here in the middle way and be like, we'll have to wait for a long time now. Anyways, this is the SSD. The SSD comes very bare, and here is the package for like the cooler or I guess the logo. I don't know if it's functional, but anyways, this is the SSD. This is how we'll be installing it first. As you can see, this is the place where an SSD would go, the NVMe SSDs from here, and that is where we'll be installing it. It is very simple to do it. I need to unscrew it, I think first, isn't it? Yep. That I'm searching for screw, but this is the screw, small little screw that is already fixed into the like your motherboard, and now I need to figure out how do I install the NVMe drive. Okay, so this is how it goes. I didn't knew that the NVMe drive was a little above the motherboard. It's not completely flat, but it goes a little bit above the motherboard. Okay, so this is the screw that will go here. Okay, this is a little tricky, not so much, but a little. Okay, so this goes, I didn't do that. So this goes entirely inside this hole NVMe slot. So you know how it's like hanging like this. So now we'll have to, use the screw and push it over so that this stays like this. This is how things are going on. So let's do that. I think I can use my finger to do that. Like just my fingers to screw it in. Kind of like a thumb screw. And this is a thumb screw probably. Okay, so that is it. We have installed the NVMe SSD. However, I'd also like to make use of this. So I'll probably have to unscrew it again. But this is how you install it is what I wanted to show. As you can see, the NVMe SSD. So I'll have to take these off. So we have to sticker and place it. So the motherboard looks this way. So I want things to be like this. So people can read it this in this way. It's hard to explain, but I'll do it and probably show you later. I hope this is how this works. This okay. I thought that they'd have like something like a manual, but why would they? Obviously, why would they? For like this small of a thing. Oh, actually, there is a dedicated way of how I'll have to keep this in place. So I'll probably go on with that. Okay, let's unscrew this. At least now I know how this entire thing works. Okay. Also, don't pull this off when you remove it. Jiggle it a bit and then remove it. Also, in terms of the chat, I don't know if you can see the YouTube chat entirely. Let me scroll down. Okay, this is the chat. First incidental case, what DPU did you get for this build? Sorry, I wasn't able to see all these chats. Really sorry. Thank. Okay, I like just popped out the chat. Now it's much easier. So, as I said, I can't install this into the case. Do this first. I just told why this is the reason. I'll have to go a little bit before I think. And I'm not installing any GPU for this kit. That is why we are installing an APU. And this APU is amazing. For the performance, like it's amazing. I was pretty surprised with it. Okay, so let's install the sticker. because you need that bling over your brand new NVMe SSD. So be really careful with that. Okay, this looks fancy, doesn't it? This looks amazing. The sticker actually went on perfect. So that is amazing. It's kind of like, your usual Lego stickers or something like that. You want them to go perfectly, but sometimes just slightly misaligned. And that is kind of, and I don't know. But yeah, this went in beautifully well. This is the screw, and now I need to just put it in. Okay, listen this. Okay. There you go. The SSD is now fixed in. Okay, now comes RAM. Fanciest thing in the world to RAM. Is this? Yeah, this is the okay. I can take a little peek of the RAM here. These are the RAM. This is the box. There you go. Also, one more thing I have to say. I need to say that if you're gonna use a dual stick RAM, the performance would be better. I, however, couldn't find like 4GB6 of these two. But again, I also thought 8GB is a minimum. Going forward, you probably want to get something like 16GB. So it's much better to install an 8GB stick right now, upgrade it to 16 down the line, than having to upgrade like two 8GB sticks and just simply discard the 4GB6 one that you have. Because this motherboard only has 2 channels of RAM, as you can see here, and not the plethora of like the 4/6 DIMM stick slots you get in like a P series or H series motherboard. But this is all we need, so why go for more? Okay, so there's one A1 and one B1. So we'll probably have to install it in A1, the closest to the actually, let me think about it. It is said that if you want to install your RAM, you need to install it furthest from the processor. For example, if this is the slot closest to the processor, you don't want to install it here, but in fact in the last one, in the B1 slot. That is what I have seen and learned till now. So let's go with that. I am sure there won't be any noticeable difference regardless. But yeah. So this is like a very easy component to install. You just basically put it here, place it in, and then just have this little, ensure that the holes are aligned with the slots, like the slot is aligned with the RAM structure. It was this aligned. Yep, this is aligned. Okay. Put it from here, and then here, and then sure. Make this click. This click sound that comes in. This is the lock that comes in. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm sure you guys would know the whole RAM scheme of things. Which is there's a small lock. So this automatically pops in when you press the RAM enough. Don't do it very hard, but there's a moderate pressure you need to apply. Right, but it's in place. This is done. Now we are going to take a look of the case, and then we install the power supply. Let's put the power supply aside. Let's put this aside. Let's put this aside as well. Oh, so many things. Okay, I'm reading. Okay, fine. Let's unbox this case. I mean, the cover and everything else. And okay, I don't want to do this. This feels like a hassle, so I'll do it here and then bring this case around. Also, the case has like this tempered glass, so I need to be very careful with it. Okay, I just received a static shock. It's good this way though, because I don't want to be damaging the motherboard. Yeah, it is said, that static sometimes can potentially damage the motherboard. So you need to be absolutely careful with that. Okay. Thermocol stuck on the case on the packaging. I have to ensure I remove all that. Just a second, please. Okay, good enough. Good enough. So this case, yay! This is the side of the tempered glass. Very fragile. I need to be very, very careful with this. Now I'll have to move this here. Put this case like this. Open these sides up and put the fragile tempered glass thingy very separate, very away. The screws for it. I also need to keep in mind where the screws are. I can just keep it here in front of my phone. I'll definitely check that, so I'll know where the screws are. This is the tempered glass, very delicate. Let's put it here. That's all. Okay, that's done. Good. Stick them on the side. Okay. It's really going pretty good. I like this. I am really enjoying how things are going. Thank you. Thank you all for coming here. Let's move on to the whole case section now. Do you guys want to see inside the case? This is how it looks inside the case. The color is very good, isn't it? It looks amazing. Matte kind of black. There's there's these removable magnetic dust filters. So you wouldn't have to clean this PC a lot and just can replace, clean the dust filters, and you're probably good to go for a long time. But occasionally you'd also have to do the the entire PC cleaning thing. So this is again some dust filters, and this is the base. It also seems very secure, very good. Good quality is what I'll say for this case. Okay, starting, let's just install the motherboard and then we move on to the rest of the things. So this is an M80X motherboard, which is why it's tiny small. There are motherboards that come a little smaller than this, I think. But again, then there are these ATX motherboards, which are also an option, but it really depends on what kind of build you are making. Again, this is a case designed for M80X motherboards, so everything would be fit very good, very pretty well. There are spots for the screws, right? Or do I need to unscrew this? No, these are spots for the screws, and I'll probably find this. This is what I was looking for. the bag of screws and other kind of stuff. But there's this bag which I need to open now, which I'm tearing apart. And yeah, that's the problem. Okay, so we also get these little lighteners for cable management, which I actually am grateful for because I was thinking I don't know how I'd do that, but I just got that. Maybe. Then there are some extra screws, I think, like for if you lose one of the screws from the tempered glass thing, or maybe it's for something else. Let's look because the screw thing is a little bit different. Anyways, let's pull out some screws and also I need to place this away so that it isn't blocking the screw view. Okay. Let's put the screw one here. I don't know how many screws I need. Probably I need 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, I need 5 screws. So let's pick out 5 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I picked the ones with like very flat screws. Is how I'd like to say. Like these screws have a flat head, as you can see, and whereas some of these screws have a little bit of a raised head. So that is not something I'm looking for right now. Okay, let's place the whole motherboard over in the place that I would like it to be at. I think I also do another thing before, and that is install like what you call that. There's this plate that comes here. I need to install that first. Let me look at this. Yes. Should I remove this one as well? I think I should remove this side as well. Just would help with cable management data and just gives me a more clear view of what's going on. Because otherwise it's all black in there. I do have lighting, so that shouldn't be a problem. It came off, put it here. So this is how it looks on the big fine, and these are the cables and how it's managed already. And I'll probably be taking advantage of that instead of doing it all again. Okay. Is this chat scrolling on its own? I am not sure of that. I hope it is. If it is not, I'll probably need to know. But anyways. Okay. So let's see. Where is this plate that I get? I think the plate would be either in the case box or it would be the motherboard. That is the probable locations. I do not remember where to put it. The case box is empty, and so the motherboard box is where I think it should be. Let's check it once. Yep, it is here. It is here. Just for the connector. And what is this? Ooh! Wow, we get an MSI sticker. Nice. I think we would get an MSI sticker. That would be happy. The MSI sticker looks really cool. Just take a look. Let's go. The G2 pricing is off the chart. So it's also kind of a PC that you build for yourself. G2 pricing currently doesn't make sense to you as well. It doesn't to me, and I don't think it would anyone else. But if you try it, then I'd say you probably have to go into the used market and get something like that for now. Because I don't really, you know, would encourage anyone to buy from the new market right now. because it's messy. Okay, so I think we haven't right now. If I think I've done pretty good. Like for an hour, I'm not planning to do the the turning on and then nothing because it is not easy for me to manage all that. Yeah, but I think I'll be able to turn on the case and just look at the lighting. Yes, but I don't want to do that anything. Anyways, I'll probably install it and then just release a small video of how it's all running. Okay, so the fan comes inside, and so this is where this will go. So let's see. You want the written text to be outside, so you need to install it this way. Right. Okay. Yep, this seems like it. I'm not sure if this goes more forward than the place it's currently at, and I don't want to risk it. So I'll just install the motherboard, and then I'll know if things are at the right place. Should be. Oh, this thing here. This case has got a lot of room, as you can see, and for a build like this, we don't need this much space, but it's always full. Okay. I need to take a closer look now. Maybe I haven't inserted it right. Actually, let me take a look. Things could go better. Okay, I can get why this is stuck there. You need to be careful. Why is it stuck there? I'm currently casing weight that I don't understand myself how I'd be able to see the whole thing. So this panel in here is a little stuck. I want to remove it. I guess I have to do something like this to wedge this thing off, but I don't want to, cause me trouble. This is the way I have to check this. Yeah, this gives me the most view, and what I feel is somehow it's gone inside the case, this place, and I don't want it to be there. Why is this thing stuck like a rock there? I guess this is what you call a technical difficulty. But I don't know. Even these problems sometimes, they teach you a lot and are necessary for you to learn and just get closer with the PC. Because if everything was like a piece of cake, then I don't know, it would seem too simple. Anybody could do it and kind of not worth it. This is stuck. How is it stuck so well? Okay, I don't need to have pressure, but rather see where's the mistake. Okay, you can see that it is stuck here. Okay, I understood where the problem was. here in these corners. Okay, so the panel removed successfully without any problems. Now I'll have to see how exactly to install it in a way where it is like I want. I probably need to do it from here then. Let's give you a better view. Like this from here. Let's see if this works where I want it. Does this work? I don't think so. I think so that is the way to go. Need to get the dimensions right. Okay, I probably have to see it from this way. Yeah, let me do this one. This one is a little bit tricky. I don't want to be, again removing the whole panel just because I messed it up again. Let's see. First, this should go here. Second, this will go here. Third, this will go here. And third, I want it to be okay. I see the problem now. This should go here. Am I scratching myself right now? These plates are sharp. Let me tell you that. Fine. Why do I think this exactly happened with Linus's bed? I think this probably happened with a lot of people. Should this be this hard? Am I making a mistake? Is what's going on in my mind right now? I think it's a little fixed. Not entirely. I think this is, oh, actually, wow. Actually, this is not the way to go. Let me think about this. Ooh. Maybe I need to put it this way. Put this there. Does it goes inside or does it go outside? There are some ledges here. I don't know if that is somewhere that is how you use those or that is something not to use. Let me take a look. Is there anything you can use in case you know more about that? Isn't. Am I updated on the whole chart thing? I do seem to be. Okay. Wow, I didn't know we would be stuck here, but we do this. Wait a second. Wait a second. Do that. Yeah, we have the plate. I was like, did I forget where I put the plate in? I could making that mistake again and again now. Okay, I think this is the way to go. Um, yeah, I think I was making things more complicated than they are. Probably, or probably not. Yeah, this is complicated. I'll be able to do this. Right, do this, and then we need to do this. Okay, this is the closest I have come probably to installing this plate. Yep, I think I've got the plate installed, at least the way it seems to be. Let's install the motherboard. The plate doesn't install, does it? Let's see if it is. Anyways, let's install the motherboard. Now there are some screws given here which you can use to line things up properly. Okay, I think I have installed the plate perfectly well. Nice. I'm happy to see that is the case. Let's install the screws and we'll be good on the motherboard side of things. Let's just place the screws first. So we know that we have got the lining perfectly before actually screwing any of these up. They should go inside, but not completely. If the lining is messed up, they would go, completely inside, is what I think. Yep, two of these screws don't have anywhere to go, the bottom ones, but everything else is online. So these are the maximum number of screws you can screw in. So there are, I think I need like 4 screws. Yeah, there are places for 6 on this motherboard, but I only need 4 to secure them. And 4 are enough for this motherboard. Usually when you have heavy pieces of equipment hanging off, that is when you think that you need, more number of screws to secure in the motherboard. In this case, that is not the case. Say that not the case. Cool. Is this going in? Should I use that screwdriver? Where's that screwdriver? My favorite one. No, there it is. This kind of stream is interesting. You don't usually get to do it, and also people don't usually do it. Like, why would you, right? It's like you want to build a PC, you usually build a PC, and also building a PC is something of a rare thing to do. You don't do it every day. You do it once and you forget it. You use it every day. You don't think about it. But yeah, there are then channels who dedicatedly do this, which I like to see, but I don't get to actually make things. So this is kind of like an elaborate thing to do. Okay, looks like I have secured in that thing. But wait, okay, I think I'm using 2 screws that are not the screws we use. So I'll probably remove those. Again, if you are building something for a client, even for yourself, I'd say, do use the correct screws and just know where things should go. That will make the entire build look much more better, and you'll probably look like a professional rather than something who's doing this for part time or just casual or just have to start it. You won't look like a beginner if you pay attention to things like the screws are using, for which place you are using it, things like that. Things like that do matter, and I'd say you to do that. Okay. I don't know who else is streaming my stream though. It's interesting to know who is actually seeing a stream, who isn't. Who is. Yeah. There will be tons of people who aren't. And there'll be some people who will know how the pin is right now. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, the motherboard is in place. That's not. There you go. So as you can see, the placing the motherboard in was sort of like how the entire PC is now coming up. You can see it is starting to appear and seem like a PC when things are fitting in. So, okay. Now let's. Okay, just wait a second. Now, let's move on and see what else do we need to install. I think I've got the motherboard, the RAM, the storage, and the processor and the fan installed. The only thing usually I do is I install a graphics card, but that is not the case. So I'll move on next directly to the motherboard. To the power supply. To the power supply, just trying to power supply need plus Y efficiency. So if let's open this up. The workspace do seem a little bit cluttered. And we do the usual not throw, but just put things aside which you don't need currently and enjoy them. You can be a vacant space. And then you can definitely clean it up everything as you move on. Okay, the music is still going on. This is the power plug for the power supply. Put it aside. I'm not sure about how I'm going to use this for like the Indian household. As you can see, these are very squarely. These don't go directly into your power switches if they are circular and like Indian style. So I'll probably think of an alternative way for that. Maybe get a converter. I don't know. Okay. So here's the power supply, completely packed, bubble wrap. Sure, the components are safe. And what you guys can do is shake the power supply a little bit. I don't know if it's recommended or not, but I've seen sometimes there's like this coils, these coils come off or something like the component come off, and if you shake it, if you hear something, then you know that there is something wrong with it. It's kind of a neat way to check it before you know okay with the product and you decide to install it, because power supplies are a critical component of the system and can and have the potential to damage your entire system. Take it away with it. So be careful. I think PC building is all about, it's Lego blocks. But again, Lego blocks might be cheap, these components aren't, and you don't want to, and Lego blocks are easily replaceable, I think. But these components, then you'd have to wait and get new components, and it's kind of a hassle. So extra careful. But like, I wouldn't say it is easy because it isn't for a lot of people, and it takes time to develop that skill. But on the other hand, I would want to make this discourage someone who's trying to get into PC building or just want to check out, because you might have issues in the first place, but then get accustomed to it and you understand that okay, it isn't a big problem. You understand it and then now you can move ahead with it. It is something I recommend you to try. Everyone to try in fact once. Build your own PC. You'll be amazed by how interesting and how cool it is. Can I fix this in some way? I don't need the hard drive cage right now. I can probably remove it entirely out of the system. Maybe that's what I'm gonna do. Or just keep it there. Maybe I should just keep it there so when we are actually going to install a hard drive to it, it wouldn't be a big trouble. The thing is, I need light to see if there is a place to. Uh, there's a hole. Yeah, there is a hole. Okay, so I can put this to there. There is the only thing I need to check first. Also, I'm holding the cage, the cage chassis like this. Don't worry about it. It is like securely held by me. I am aware of how I'm holding it. The way of this, like doing this, gives me easy access to the place I want to put this screw in. That's all. I can't seem to find a way to screw this in. What should I do? Unscrew this first? Just unscrew this first. So this is the hardware cage. This is where you install your hard drive. Okay, I understood the problem. The cage's screw holes are like very tight, and so I need to burn through a little bit of them by actually screwing in a screw. Once I've done that, these screws are fused. Now again, as I said, I'm not installing anything in it. These are just in place so that I can remove it anytime, then install one. I don't have to look into the packaging or anything else for this matter. Oh, wait a second. How do I do this? Okay, so this is in line, and now it is moving. Okay, this should go in more. Okay, this has went in. One place secured, I need to secure the other place too before I can say that this is completely done. It is a little cumbersome to install the hard drive cage in this chassis. I'd say that I am having troubles with it and it doesn't seem very intuitive. I am not sure if I've missed any places though. If like this can actually go inside easy, but I'm currently having trouble. Should I install it this way? Or should I leave it for now? Should I leave it? Okay, I think I've got. Maybe not, maybe yes. I don't know. Or maybe yes. Yes, I've got it. Okay, that is enough. So I've got the hardware cage in place. Now it won't move like it used to. Or maybe it will. Not sure. Anyways, it is in place. This is the power supply. I'm going to install that. The power supply goes in from here, goes in like in, and then you place it here. So it's completely in line. And I have chosen the color schedule so that the blacks do matches, and it looks good. And now the power supply comes with its own set of screws, so I'm going to be using those. I feel we'll be done in like 30 minutes more. Yeah. So say we build this PC in like about how much? 2 hours? 2 hours. But again, we build this in like 1 hour, and I can even do it faster. And yeah, it's pretty good. It's fast. I think this is something a lot of people will see and get to know more about. Oh, so this is how PC building works, and get more aware about it. And also kind of understand how hard can it get. Let's keep it like this. The best thing is I have put the tempered glass out of my way, so I am not in any danger of damaging that, which is actually very very good. Let me hold the power supply up a bit so the screws can go in. Again, do use the cross techno hole, the cross to method. Yeah, the power supply is in place. The switch is working fine. Okay. Now, time to install all the cabling. These are all the cables that are present here. As you can take a look. So we need to correctly install them, and just let's see how I'm going to. This you have to I'll have to play with the case a lot for this one, because installing all these isn't very easy and creative, but it is unnecessary evil. And if you do this right, your system looks so much better. So you have to do this right. Okay, let's see. Okay, I can use this place here and just plug this thing in. And this is the reason I was wishing we had something like um what you call it, top down can. Then it would be much easier, but we don't, so we are improvising. I think I'll have to take it from the bottom because of the way the whole thing is aligned. And this whole power will go here. Should I be installing the power now? I think I should. The whole power cable is very clunky, and it isn't easy to install it and remove it. So just make sure you're sure before installing the power cable, and that that you're not going to remove it again. You can, but just hopefully we wouldn't have. Okay, so which cable is this? This is the CPU cable. This is what we are going to have to use the next. This, I think, I needed. Where do I need to? This, I can probably take it from here. Can I? If not, then I won't. Is it the CPU one? This is the CPU one, isn't it? But I have 8 pins. So the usual form. Are these for like So, there would be some other processors that actually demand a lot of energy. So I'll have to break this up. Yeah, there you go. So you can break this up very easily. You don't need to do anything. These are designed in this way. I'm really liking this choice of these lo-fi songs. I have to say that. Okay, so this going inside. Uh, yep, it did went inside. This I'll probably keep it here. Now, how do I need to install this? Let's see. Okay. So that is done. Power supply is done with the main power supply. What else do we need? There are the 6-pin and 8-pin power connectors, PCIe power connectors. We won't be needing those. So let's put them aside. Then there are these cables, which are the SATA connectors. Again, we would need these SATA connectors if we were installing a hard drive. We wouldn't because now we aren't. Then comes again one more SATA and other fan connectors. We won't need these as well. What is this one? You asked. This is. Let me check. This goes here. So this goes somewhere inside. Oh, okay. This is not here. Okay, so there's this small PCB. Okay, so this is the lighting PCB, I think. So you need to install this for the lighting effects to come. Alright, I got it. And what is this? This is the USB cable. Okay, so let's start with these cables first. Then I'll see what else I need to power. One thing is for sure I need to power the front LED, the case of LED. And I have to say I'm happy with how the stream is turning out. Okay, so where is this coming from? From here. I don't need to take it outside now, do I? Oh, okay, I don't need the access cable, so I can take it outside and then take it back in. Understood. What are these? These are two USB cables for. Okay, these are just too small. Is this the audio cable? There is fuse right now. No, this should be the audio one, right? These are the LEDs. Okay, so I think this is the simplest thing to do first. Let's install the LEDs first. I'll have to take them from here because this is the place where all the LEDs and stuff is going on. I think. Or is it not? J or D. Should I take a look at the motherboard specs or the motherboard, like just an image of it? This is the this is the side. I'll have to clean this up a lot. Quick installation guide. Yep, this is what I'm. So there's this quick installation guide. Also, building PC or building anything, being good at something doesn't mean you have to memorize everything, especially when some things like this help you, install things correctly without damaging things. Yep, there you go. There's something known as the JFP1 here, like it's labeled as JFP1, and so these are the order. This is the specific order in how each of the individual audio cable is going in. So that is the way I'll have to use it. Now let's see. I'll probably, once I install it, I'll move the camera around and give you guys a good view of the one thing. I can understand it is a little boring, but wait, it might, because you aren't getting a actual view. Okay, I hope things are looking good. Okay. JFP1. What is JFP1? There is a JDP1. Oh, there's the AP1. Okay, so I don't need to put it from here. I actually need to take it from here. Once I install all the cables, then I'll go on to cable management. But not before that, because I am not sure of what cables to group together and how to actually do these things. Okay, so how do I need to do this? Keep it here. Okay, so I can see the alignment of the pins. The thing that goes here is the HDD LED. HDD LED plus and minus. Where is the HDD LED plus and minus? HDD. There you go. This is the HDD LED plus and minus. Now the HDD LED plus and minus. Okay, this is how it's shown. Would go here. And so which would be the plus? Plus would be on the very the initial side. For this here. Okay, so this is correctly installed. I can vouch for that. Done. Next thing up, the reset SW. Reset switch. And the last one is reserve. Okay, but okay, let's install the reset switch. Reset switches are there. Reset switch would be okay. Reset switch doesn't need a plus and minus. Which just need that. I guess LEDs do have a positive and negative, cathode and anode. I think that's what they said. So that's why I need to be careful with that. Otherwise, I don't need to like this reset switch. The power switch comes just across, and the power LEDs are on this left side. So this is probably what the power switch. Okay, so these switches that I'm installing right now, have you guys wondered how, by interacting here, something on the motherboard takes place? How these switches are connected. So this is how you connect them. There's a small, these switches are connected to small cables, and these cables I need to install into the motherboard. Every motherboard has these things. You don't have to tamper with the motherboard every time to start the PC. This is built for convenience. Okay, done. Then there is the power LED plus comes on the left side. Which is the power LED plus? Let's see. Power LED plus is the green one, and then comes the white. Okay, got it. Done. Done. Okay, so all the LED cables are installed. Should I show you like this now? I think it has been a lot of time I haven't shown you, so let me do that. So as you can see, this is the cable that I have installed for the power. I have taken it from below. This better? Maybe. Oh wait, I'll install it, save some time for both of us, and then show you a better view. Okay, this is done. What else? What else do we need? I need this, which is the USB hub, right? USB cables, and then there are these. Entangled. Okay. Yeah, these and these. So I think this is the USB 3.0 cable, and this is the USB, and this is the HD audio. Okay, got it. So how am I installing the audio cable? Is that sit here? I think there's something like the audio thing in the motherboard mentioned. So that is where things will probably go. Yeah, then I might as well take a look into it. This all. Okay, they don't seem to be there. So anyways, let's use what I know already and just do it my way. J audio, and then there's JDP, and then there's J USB, the other thing. So let's take this one. Take this. Let's take this. Okay. So now there's this HD audio cable which will go here, and I can definitely see how it is going to go inside. Like all these things are very intuitive. If you do it themselves, you'll know. And like there's some black pins. Like for example, the slot in this specific socket, right? And then these are pins. The socket goes into the pin in this case. So the socket, one of the socket is filled. Like there's no space for the pin to go, and there is one less pin on the motherboard. So you know how the whole socket and pin goes. So the HD audio cable goes into J audio 1. J audio 1. Is there anything written about it? I forget, but fine. Fine, but it is again super self-explanatory. Then there's this USB cable, which would go here, as far as I know. Yes. Let's install it in J USB 1. I don't know why everything is named with like a J comes before it. Then there's this USB 3.0 cable, which takes this header. And is there one missing? I think this one's missing, isn't it? Right, so which only go like this. Yep, it went inside. Nice. Okay, so the USB 3.0 header is installed. The USB 1 and audio cables are also installed. So things are looking very well right now. Here. Okay, so what should I do next? Which cables should I install next? Yeah, correct. The case fan. There's this case fan whose power I need to figure out how I'll install. Okay, so I'll probably take this. Can I take this behind? I think I can. So there's this case fan. I think you can see it has like this power cable which I need to install. So let's untie. I really wish there was like a top-down view for you guys. There you go, there you have it. Let's take this. Hopefully I can take this behind. Yep, I can. So now we have these power cables. These are the SATA ones, and there are these plugs that we need to install them. These are small circular ones. So install these. Yeah, this is how they go. Yeah, don't never try to just force things into place if they don't seem to go it in the first go. There's a high chance that because that is not the way they're supposed to go. So keep that into consideration before doing anything else. You usually don't need to apply a lot of force for many of these things. Okay, so that is done. And I need, okay, and even this could be used now for the front LED connector. How am I going to do that? Wait a second. With this, there was a connector, but with this, oh, okay, there you go. It's in the back side, actually. Okay, this is fixed as well. So the cables are connected. I don't think there's anything else we need to connect. Things are fine and dandy. These are for the hard drive. But again, as we said, we are connecting them right now. We don't have a hard drive empty moment. So we won't be doing that. This is what will go into the power supply. But by the looks of things, this is it. Everything is powered as it should be. Now let's tighten the cables here. Okay, take a look here. So now what I'll do is take all these cables that are here. For example, this cable. I don't want it to be like this. I want things to look super clean. And so what I'll do is stretch these cables out as much as I can. Not leave anything excess to be present there. And I can definitely just put these cables down here. Let me look here. What's going on with the problem? The CPU cable, I can install it later. I think I'm happy now. Okay, let's do this thing. Let's pull out the CPU cable. It's kind of, I'm ordering it from power management. Cable management. I have to remove it. I'm not sure if I want to do that. But I'll probably have to do that, isn't it? I'll have to. It's a small caveat, so nothing big, nothing major. It's done. Okay. Just untangle some of the cable. The CPU cable is actually messing up a lot of my array. So I need to take that into consideration. Also, why do I think I have made a mistake? Like again, cable management could be better. So instead of taking it from the bottom, I need to take it from here. And I just said, I hope I don't need to remove the motherboard power supply and mount. Oof, things can go easier. Why don't they? Okay, it's a mood. Okay, this was fairly easy. Things can be a little bit more complicated, but this wasn't. Now I'll take it from here. This seems much more, intuitive. Maybe I can take it from the top, so I won't have any excess cable there. Okay, so that's the chonky cable. And it isn't easy to put that in. I think it is fixed though, but I want to make sure if it is. Okay, I just heard the click, and so I think it is now. Okay, now I can see how the cable management would work, like how things are looking like. Okay, I can see a bit clear how like I can use the ties to tie up things. I probably have to remove this and this just for a second. I don't want any cable to be in any way or any other cables. I know there's something sentence, but this way. Okay. This way. Okay, so these cables are the two cables that we don't currently need. So what we need to do is group them together and just put them away in a way like that it won't count in the middle of our full C development, and like it would be just tucked away in this little back corner. So I need a cable tie like this to tie this up all together. Okay, I have tied the cables. Now I'll just have to put this away below. This way. Because of the whole power supply shroud, these cables wouldn't be visible, and so they would provide a perfect cover entire cable management. I just heard that. Merry Christmas. That is an iconic scene though. Okay, there's something given here for better cable management. Like there's this small string. What do you call it? These are basically tied. We use for tying. So that is given here, and so let's see how we can tie this up. Let's tie this up again. I got another pair which I can tie up. I need to ensure I take the entire clubbing, like the entire thing together. Nothing is left. Okay, this went inside. Nothing is shown on the other side. So in this way it seems very clean, like without any cable. Yeah. This is how you like try to cable manage. The minimum amount of cable should be seen on that side. That is the basic principle of how we do this. What is this cable for? Oh, okay. This and is this not completely fixed? Sorry. I shouldn't see any reason for this to fall like that. That is not something that should happen. Okay, I think I got it. Cool. So this is done. Take these cables up as much as you can. Group them together using. Okay, I can group them together using this small thing. I don't need to waste the cable down then. Okay. Why are these rotated more than they need to? Okay, got it. I use a clever little trick right now. I can't show any of it, but yeah, I'm happy. Okay, so this does seems amazingly cable managed. I'm impressed by how amazing I did in like my first try. It kind of feels like I'm just complimenting myself, and I am in a way. I am, but it's really good. It is turning out amazing. Ooh, okay, thank you. So this is about it. This is super cable managed. Let's see how it looks from the front, and it seems super good. Oh, okay. This is something I think further reduce and I think this is I think we don't need. And the cables, it's interesting. The power, the small LED lights, they together form like the Indian flag, like the orange, white, and pink, and it's an order. Is it intentional? Oh, that's good. So this is done. I don't think there's anything else left. I can probably manage this. Yeah, this is like the one thing that is again left. Let's see how I tie those. Let's take a cable tie, and I can probably do something like this. This place here. Just tie it like this. Put it inside there. Or we can probably put it here to, not let these cables come visible into the front. Okay, seems good. Maybe we need one more cable tie. I mean, we have got them, so why not use them? I don't need to use more than that I require, but can probably use some more than. Okay, first I need to ensure that this goes through this. How do I? Getting it through these loops is hard. Through these small places is hard. Maybe I can get it through this, but can I get it through this? Yes, I can. Again, I use the trick. Got it. So the cables are not moving anywhere, right? That is what my basic intention is. And what I can do here is grab these as well. Again, this way, all the cables are going to be here, not anywhere else. So if you want to, manage, or if you're wondering where you have any other cable ties, so always have them, but they'll be tucked here. Is what I'm intending to do. I'm not sure if the case will close with this here, but that is what something I'm happy with. The case is like this, right? So this goes here, and this is something that goes inside here. I don't think that is something you'll be able to use. I think I have to untie this. Will I be able to do that? I think I can, right? I remember being able to do this. Is there some way? Or maybe, would this really matter? Can people see this one? Would this small hole really matter? Dust comes in the way of installing the case. Let's see. Let's install the case once. Okay, the case does actually fit in. So, is there anything else I need to install though? Let me check. If not, then I just pack the piece. This is something I need to install, but that is something I can put on the front as well. These are the speakers. These speakers are for the motherboard, I think. So I guess that is it. Let's fix this side of the case then. What should I use? These are the two things I should use. Is there anything else? Oh, I'm not sure. I think this is the one. This is the one, right? Yeah. I can't find anything else, so this is the one. No, this is the one. I got it. Yeah. Okay, so this side of the case it's done. From here, it seems perfectly cable managed. Let me put things. Can you guys see the case better now? Oh, thanks, Fire. There's the switch. Okay. The case is looking really nice now. Now that is cable inside. This is the small speaker that I received. Let's see where that is. JSB2 JCOM JC1. This should be like a small 4 thing. And this is where I think it should go. Should I do one thing? Let me look it up actually. Where this would go. Just give me a sec. What I'm doing right now is I am opening up the whole motherboard layout. So I'll know exactly where to plug in. I just got like a video, so I do know how it should work, but doing this ensures I'll plug it in the right place in one go. Design. Not in the design place. No. Gallery. Gallery just shows pictures. Wow. Is there anything like what's in the support? BIOS and manual. Manual. There's a manual. But what does the manual contains? Okay, the manual. I think does yeah, the manual does contain what we need. Okay, JFP2, as I just looked up in the video, is the place where I need to connect the speaker, the buzzer, whole thing. So here's the connector, the small connector. There it is. Plus goes here. Okay, I got it. I need to install it. JFP1, 1. I should minus is on 1, so plus is here. So this is how I should install it. Yep, there you go. Which page is minus? I would do that now. Can I just have a look of the entire motherboard layout? One go. So that is something really. Ah, there I have it. Okay, JP2. I think this is the way to go though. I'm still not completely sure, the layout isn't that well given here. Maybe it is, maybe some people understand it much better, but that seems a little bit off. But I think I have gotten a basic understanding of how it goes. I'm probably gonna install it like this way. Let's see if it works. The thing with this is, I don't know why this has to hang like this. Probably tuck it in here, behind this, or just leave it hanging. Okay, this is the plus, right? And this is like the positive end. And that is how I have done it, but I am not sure if this is the place where it's possible. Let's hope. So everything is done. The access screws, which I'll put it inside here. There are a lot of screws getting here. I don't know what these screws are supposed to do. So this was a rather, I'd say, good build. A simple build, and everything is done. Time to attach. Sorry, you're seeing my hand. Time to attach the glass cup. So I'm supposed to be very careful now with, and yeah, I mean, okay, let's do one thing. Let's put this cable here, like the panel there. Lay this like this and check the places. There you go. Where are the screws? Screws are here in my mobile, which is as I planned. Now I don't think should I peel off the cover? I don't think I'm going to peel off the cover right now because I'm probably going to ship this case as well. So I might as well keep it as it also shows the whole fragile warning. And I think it's time to plug in and see how things go. But again, this is the place where actually our case, like whole building stream ends. Because as I said, it isn't easy for me to do the entire thing in stream. But as you can see, Case is looking amazing. Everything is installed here. The whole logo is all here. Case is done. If you see from here, very little wires shown, only the power supply one, and whatever else is shown, I'll say that it is necessary for things to go this way. You can see it's very glossy. So, anyways, friends, this is it. We are done with the stream. So, what I think right now we should be doing is ending the stream. And thank you guys a lot for joining in for today's stream. It was amazing, it was fun, and I finally got to build my PC. I built this PC, and it's amazing. I really like this case, and I would recommend all these parts. Sure, there's some trouble testing left, if it would run or not, but this is like the basic of how you build a PC. This was a really good stream, and it took the time I thought it would. In fact, I was worried if it would take much more time, but it went well. So thank you everyone for joining in. Thank you. The special mentions to Firefly for being here, and yeah, and even Console Rajvil, he was the first here. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys in the next stream. Hopefully, I'll be able to do something interesting like this again. Thank you. See ya. Bye bye.